Hi, welcome. Today we're looking at Matthew chapter 16, and it seems to be continuing this theme of how a little thing can have great impact. And so the Pharisees and the Sadducees come to Jesus looking to trick him for a sign, and he basically, as Jesus often does, turns the tables on them and sends them away with their tails between their legs, not answering their question. And then when he's with his disciples, he comes and gives them this warning. He says, watch and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. So in their typical fashion, the disciples kind of get it all a bit wrong, and they start thinking about bread. They start thinking about, he's talking about leaven, he's talking about food, where are we going to get some food from, what's our need? And remember, Jesus has said to them already, don't worry about the food, don't worry about what you're wearing, what you're going to get, so I'll take care of those things. He's shown them this through the feeding of the 5,000, the feeding of the 4,000, yet they're still worried about this. And so he says, no, what you need to be wary of is the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. You've got to be wary of their teaching, because again, they can come looking for a sign and it seems like a very authentic thing, but be wary of the people who are coming to trick you. Be wary of those who bring teaching that can seem okay, but is slightly twisted, is like a piece of leaven that gets in and then grows and grows and becomes corrupted. And we saw that in the parable of the weeds, how you've got the wheat that's sown and the weeds that are sown, and the seeds are there, and then it brings corruption. And so we have to be careful. Then we see Peter confessing the Christ. And again, this idea that you've got such a small thing, a small confession of faith. Jesus, you're the Christ. But again, when you get the small things right, it has big impact. And so for Peter, Jesus says, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And you might think, wow, that's a lot to come out of a small statement. But this is the reality, that when we get the small things right, there's great things that come from it. When we get the small things wrong, then bad things will come from it. And so again, you see this where it's flipped for Peter, that suddenly when Jesus says, I'm going to go and be crucified, Peter says, oh, God forbid, that far be it from you, Lord. And Jesus' response this time to Peter is, get behind me, Satan. And so again, this idea of such a small thing, a small act of disobedience can come in and really spoil what God's got for you and his plans. And you've got this last passage in the chapter of 16 where Jesus says, if you come after me, you must deny yourself, take up your cross and follow me. I don't, to be honest, see how this particularly fits into some of the things I'm saying, but I do think it's so important for us. And maybe, again, it's that emphasis of let's get the basics right. Let's get the foundation right. We can't come to Christ if we're on our own terms. We have to be on his terms, which is through denying of ourselves, through our death that's associated with him, that we might then follow him in life. He says, if you seek to save your life, you'll lose it. But if you lose your life for my sake, you'll find it. And what I'm seeing so much today is that people are trying to, in a sense, find religion. They're finding their way, their truth, their life. But actually, if we don't make Jesus the foundation, if his truth is not the foundation in his life, then we will lose our lives. And so my encouragement to you today is to set your heart on getting the small things right, the foundation right, who Jesus is, his plan and purpose, and to stick with these things, because when we do, we'll see great things come from it.